are certain inventions that you wouldn't think could be reinvented, right? Well, today we've got the MetMo Driver in the studio with us to prove us wrong. Remember Archimedes? Nope, not this guy. Nope, not that bird. The Eureka guy. Yeah, well, while the whole Eureka thing was probably a myth, this G was a mathematician, a physicist, an engineer, an inventor, an astronomer. You name it, he did it. And I mean, granted, it was like 7th grade math, so probably even I could blow his socks off. But back in the 3rd century BC, he came up with the 3 simple machines: the lever, the pulley, and the screw. And these things have been improving our lives for the past 7,000 years. Because I mean, while the phone has evolved from this to this to this in just 30 years, when you've got the perfect invention, why reinvent it? Let's find out. This is the MetMo Driver. Comes in a nice classy black box, and I have to admit something. I got a little excited and I opened the box before we started shooting, and then I couldn't put it all back together as perfectly as it was. So just picture that this is nicely packaged inside. We open it up, got a nice little welcome from the MetMo team. Not gonna read that to you. And this is the MetMo Driver. The design of the MetMo Driver is based on Conrad Bauman's ratchet driver from the 1950s, and this aims to be the most powerful compact driver in the world. But is it? I mean, when you're trying to screw something in, you often reach for your electric screwdriver. Why? It's just simpler, you zzz, 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 the screw's going. You don't need to force it, you don't need to push it, you don't need to lose your balance, you don't need the screwdriver doesn't keep popping off it or something. Well, the MetMo Driver aims to solve that problem. So when you've got the lever down like this, and it's in wrench mode, they estimate that you can get an insane 70 Newton meters or 50 foot-pounds of torque from it. And I mean, just to put that into comparison, your typical electric screwdriver has just 5 Newton meters. So this is 14 times more powerful than an electric screwdriver. And while it might be comparing apples to oranges, I just want to throw this out there. A typical motorcycle has 17 Newton meters of torque. So that either means that when you run out of gas, you can use the MetMo Driver to power your motorcycle, or I don't really understand how torque works. But it's not just about power, is it? It's also about ease of use. Because with a regular screwdriver like this, you constantly have to be taking it out, replacing it, spinning, back, finding the right place, it spins a little bit. But thanks to the MetMo's ratchet mechanism, it only spins in one direction. Flip this, spins in the other direction. And I mean, that sound, that's what this is all about. That fidget, this sound, the experience of using the MetMo Driver. I think that's what they're driving. And that brings us on to the materials. Because the MetMo Driver is made out of a combination of high-end metals. The black handle is a hard anodized aluminium. Yes, they're British. This handle and the chuck and the ratchet mechanism, they're made out of stainless steel. And the trigger and the band here are made out of a nice polished brass. And if all of that sounds heavy, that's because it is. The MetMo Driver clocks in at an impressive 320 grams, or 11¼ ounces, essentially the weight of 2 phones. But that weight isn't really the setback that you might think. Because while you might not want an entire toolbox filled with MetMo heavy products, it wouldn't be portable at all. One tool, there's really some heft to it. It feels like you're doing the work. It feels like a man's tool. And if, your nosy neighbor Karen ever sticks her head over the fence and tells you, hey, you're doing that wrong, you should spin it the other way, screw her, you've got a nice little weapon. Now, when we reviewed one of this team's previous inventions, the MetMo Grip, we had Rafi in the studio with us too, and we had a little grip off. You can check that out here. But Rafi's not here today, so I let a few screw jobs pile up, and I was hoping that you and I, maybe we could have a little screw off together. Let's start screwing. In the box, our MetMo Driver came with this removable hex drive bit, It has a flathead screwdriver on one side and a Phillips screwdriver on the other side. And I mean, this hole is pretty standard, so you can fit all of your bits in there. It comes with an extender. And again, this is another hex bit. Fits in there, gives you a little bit more range. And it comes with an Allen key, just so that you can open it up, service it, oil it, do whatever you need. And again, that's part of the fidget fun of this. Taking it apart, putting it back together. It's amazing. So this is an Allen key. This is a Phillips head. When I die, please name something after me. You know, it can be the Daniel's nuts. Yeah. The MetMo Driver was created by none other than the MetMo team, a household name in Kickstarter's list of top creators thanks to their simple but beautiful reinventions of classic tools. The small team of engineers find forgotten patents and reinvent them. The result? 5 amazing Kickstarter campaigns with over $2.5 million raised with the help of 20,000 supporters. The team started with 2 cool little fidget toys, and then they went on to reimagine the pen, which we have a video on that too, and the MetMo grip, which I told you about before. And now they're back with the screwdriver, and they have 2 versions, the MetMo Driver, which we looked at today, and a shrunken down version, the MetMo Pocket Driver. Each of MetMo's creations comes with the same attention to detail, the same high quality materials, and the same joy of using it. Because I mean, let's face it, it's not just about the practicality, the efficiency, you know, getting that screw in. It's also about the joy, the satisfaction, the pleasure of doing the work. And this tool has that in spades. So I know what you're wondering, where can you get it? So the MetMo Driver's Kickstarter campaign has already finished, but don't worry, you can still get it on Indiegogo, where this product alone has already raised $1.7 million with the support of 8,000 backers. So just click the link in the description, search for it on Indiegogo, Google Indiegogo MetMo Driver, you're sure to find it. Or you can always go to their website, metmocube.com, and find it there. That's it! I never thought I'd talk this long about a screwdriver, but if you're still with me after all that, geeking out with me over this simple invention, be sure to hit that like and that subscribe button, and join me on our next Geek Out. I'm Dan, this was Tech I Want, and screw this, I'm out. If you like screwing, do you like screwing? Who doesn't? This is the MetMo Driver. Today in the studio, we've got a device that helps you screw better. How many Spaniards does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just Juan. We had the